her team will do the same. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to AccuWeather's Ask the Experts. I'm your host, Jeff Cornish, and today we are talking extreme weather events. And we are back with AccuWeather Chief Meteorologist John Porter, giving examples, also giving you a little bit of information on maybe how you can best respond when one of these extremely impactful, dangerous, potentially deadly events occurs. And John, in the last segment, we talked a lot about winter weather events from Buffalo to Virginia. Nobody's really exempt unless you're in the Florida Keys. Right. So, extreme weather is not limited.
Baby Einstein, baby Shakespeare, world of poetry, play, repeat, play, languages, sponsor material.
That hit New York City here in September of that year. And a coastal storm unleashed more than 8 inches of rain in parts of New York City. Right in the metro, closed roads made major impacts on mass transit, and it shut down rail and subway travel. And we're going to talk a little bit more detail about this event. So, John, how did this break down?
Well, the issue with this was, once again, the rainfall rates, how quickly the rain was falling. The rain was falling too fast, too furious, at a rate of 2 to 4 inches of rain per hour. And one of the things that I've learned in my 20 years here at AccuWeather is that rainfall rate is so much more critical to defining where the most dangerous impacts occur than the storm total rainfall, for example. And in a highly populated, dense urban environment like New York City or Philadelphia, whenever the rain rate exceeds 1.5 inches per hour, there's so much concrete, there's so much roadway, buildings, other impervious surfaces, there's nowhere for that water to go. And when it runs off, it's going to result in extreme flash flooding, like we saw in this particular event, with rain totals, as AccuWeather had forecast before any other source, of 4 to 8 inches falling at that rapid rate. And there were totals, as you mentioned, over 10 inches in this particular storm. And it was interesting because it was a relatively narrow area that was mostly affected, from Midtown Manhattan east toward parts of Brooklyn and Queens and over to western Nassau County as well. So in that area, the impacts were significant, with roads, streets that were turned into torrents of water in a matter of minutes. And once again, it quickly escalated from a dangerous situation to a life-threatening emergency in a matter of minutes.
And how often are we seeing events like these? And should we be doing more as people, or maybe as city administrators and governments, to prepare?
Well, I think there's no doubt we're seeing these extreme rain events occurring with greater frequency and impact. That is directly tied to global warming, in terms of the fact that a warmer atmosphere on average promotes higher levels of moisture in the atmosphere. And when that can be wrung out in these different situations, we end up with these extensive heavy rain events. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years is that there are many protocols to deal with different types of severe weather events in various communities. Hurricanes, winter storms, high wind events, the list goes on and on. But there's an extreme vulnerability to these flash flooding events, where some of the same life safety procedures are not necessarily enacted, or some governments may not necessarily, or businesses may not have a plan, and they're underprepared for these types of situations. And that's an area I think that needs to continue to be enhanced going forward.
And about 2 years earlier than that, same area, Hurricane Ida produced some devastating and really frightening flash flooding. So how did that storm with Hurricane Ida set up?
Well, that was another interesting situation, because AccuWeather meteorologists had warned about that flash flooding ahead of all other known sources before the storm even made landfall. We were obviously concerned that whenever you bring a tropical rainstorm up into the eastern part of the United States, it interacts with the Appalachian Mountains and then moves up the I-95 corridor and really merges with another storm system that was coming across from the Great Lakes. That process wrings out extra moisture. And so before the storm even made landfall, of course, it was a devastating storm across portions of Louisiana, where there was a storm surge and flooding rainfall and damaging winds. But before the storm made landfall, we warned that there would be a risk for days to come